Tonight, unlawful entries surge in Mackay. Drivers charged twice for vehicle registration. Calls to cull crocodiles after a record year of sightings. And a local fisherman captures a rare phenomenon of spawning worms.
This is 7 News with Joanne Desmond.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. The opposition is urging the state government to put victims first after thousands of unlawful entry offences were recorded across the state last year. But Labor is adamant it is tackling crime, claiming some of the rates have been decreasing.
Tackling him to the ground, police were quick to arrest this man in Alexandra Headland. He was allegedly trespassing, spotted entering and exiting properties along Parker Street this afternoon. In Townsville, a single mother had thieves break into her home 2 nights ago.
They've stolen multiple things, including my car keys, and I've had my car stolen.
She says she doesn't feel safe at home with her kids, including her 17-month-old son.
I don't feel safe enough to protect him here, just in case they do come back.
Police data shows the number of unlawful entry offences were up 54% across the state last year compared to 2015.
That's homes, that's businesses, that's people's safe space, that's people's livelihood.
The LNP is putting pressure on the state Labor government to put victims first and take action.
Crime continues to get worse under this government.
We are the ones that are doing all these strategies around crime, about addressing crime, and will continue to work every single day.
When taking into account population growth, the government says unlawful entry offences actually decreased in every region except Townsville, Mackay and the Wide Bay in 2023.
That's why we have put 1,600 more police on the beat here in Queensland.
Community safety is something that we take very seriously.
Rebecca Jensen, 7 News.
Thousands of Queenslanders have been charged twice for vehicle registration fees in another main roads blunder. Some drivers don't even realise they overpaid. Michelle Jensen has the details.
It was a costly and confusing double-up at a mail house. More than 16,000 drivers were sent vehicle registration notices on July 21, but the same bills were sent again 3 months later. Nearly 1,000 people paid promptly, needing refunds, likely worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. 95% of customers were paid back by November, but the other 5% paid through Australia Post and can't receive automatic refunds, so they're still out of pocket. The Transport Minister called the error unacceptable, saying, "We expect TMR and their third-party providers to do better. We're told there was an immediate review and measures are in place to prevent a repeat." Last September, a design fault was blamed for 1,800 drivers wrongly being handed double demerit points for seatbelt offences. Some had their licences suspended. The department says the system's now fixed and all traffic histories have been corrected.
Police are warning us to stay vigilant after a Mackay retiree lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to an online scam. Now, the scam reportedly centred on a digital currency investment that appeared to be endorsed by an Australian celebrity whom police won't name. The victim was persuaded to make a series of large financial instalments after unwittingly making contact with the scammer. Police encourage residents to seek advice from a qualified financial advisor before handing over personal funds in similar scenarios. There are calls for crocodiles to be culled after a record year of sightings in North Queensland. Katter's Australian Party leader Robbie Katter wants laws loosened to allow it, but the Environment Minister says they won't be considering it.
North Queenslanders live somewhat uneasily in their habitat, but these predators are popping up more often. In Queensland last year, there were a record 1,216 sightings, an increase of 880 in the last decade.
The Queensland government's marketing campaign for the Croc app has worked. More people are using the app. More people are going to far North Queensland and seeing crocodiles, so lots of people are jumping on there.
Cairns led the way with 170 spottings, followed by Townsville at 164. Mackay had 92 and Rockhampton 63.
They're an apex predator and they've had every right and opportunity to breed up, and they have. and there needs to be some control.
Robbie Catter has long called for cullings where necessary to reduce numbers and minimise attacks.
It's happened with horses, cats, dogs, pigs, kangaroos.
But Minister for Environment Leanne Linnard says we are not considering this. They are removed from the wild in certain circumstances. Culling crocodiles in an area may create a false sense of security in the community.
I'm not too sure why putting them in a concrete cage for the next 30 years is seen as a better result for that crocodile.
Caitlin Stedman, 7 News.
Queensland high school students are facing further frustration and anxiety, waiting again today for university offers to be released. It means some prospective students missed out on the start of orientation week and have even less time to prepare for classes to begin.
An anxious time has been made worse by unexpected delays.
It's just a pretty stressful morning for everyone.
Queensland school leavers were last week hit with a 4-day hold-up in their university offers. Today, some were still waiting.
The whole day I've just been refreshing my emails, just getting ready for the offers to come out.
They were eventually released, but some applicants weren't able to view or respond to them. The hiccup had knock-on effects statewide.
So this is orientation week for us, so that means students getting their offers today are in the middle of orientation week.
Regional universities have put on extra staff to respond to concerns and process new students.
We're disappointed that the offer round was delayed, and we know that that creates additional stress and anxiety for students. We're very confident that if you've applied to us, we will find a way to get you here.
The Queensland Tertiary Admissions Centre late this afternoon apologised for today's issue. We regret the added stress and tension this may have brought some applicants, reassuring students that offers hadn't been impacted and adding that all offers have now been sent. In a rocky start to a milestone year for many. Jade Richards, 7 News.
Those planning to host a party at home or at a venue for Australia Day are being urged to consider registering it with police. An online form can be filled out on the QPS website detailing the location, contact details of the host, the expected number of guests and if alcohol will be available. Registering through the Party Safe program means police have the required information on hand to deal with any issues quickly on the day. Heavy rainfall across northern Queensland has created a rare phenomenon for a local fisherman: worms on the water. A marine scientist says wet weather has caused the invertebrates to swim to the surface to spawn.
It's enough to make you squirm, the sight of thousands of wiggly ragworms in among the mangroves at Waverley Creek in St Lawrence.
And I've never seen anything like it. The whole creek is just full of them. Look at them, there's thousands of the things.
Robert Norris posted the video to social media. He was out mud crabbing with his daughter when they noticed the polychaete worms. The fisherman said he'd never seen them before.
And it's got legs on it like a centipede, but it's an actual worm.
One person commented on the Facebook video, "It looks like good bait." Another said they'd seen them a few times but not sure what they are. A marine scientist says the phenomena was due to recent wet weather.
It kind of triggers them that they need to get up and get moving out of the estuaries to spawn and to mate.
The rainwater has caused excess salinity, leaving the ragworms to rise to the water's surface.
And they will start making their way up towards the coast in these mass aggregations, so basically to reproduce.
The worms can in fact be used as bait by anglers or food for a hungry shark.
Great whiting bait, great bait for bream.
They're the weirdest thing.
Georgie May Walker, 7 News.
Well, ahead tonight, the sobering reality of sticking to New Year's resolutions and workshops helping kids prepare to return to the classroom.
Mackay turns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues. And we want you to be part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. Well, for many of us, the holiday season is a chance to have a celebratory drink or 3, which can lead to grand New Year's resolutions to sober up. Annually, 1 in 5 Australians consumes more than 10 glasses of alcohol a week. So health professionals have a message to those struggling to quit.
Whether it was having too many at Christmas or while farewelling a tough 2023. Many of us ended up with a holiday hangover and vowed to go dry in the new year, only to be woefully unprepared.
While people might start with really great motivation, that it can get very difficult because of the social circles and the community expectations that are placed on people.
The latest data from Queensland Health showed that in 2022, a staggering 1.5 million adults consumed alcohol at levels that were risky to their health.
To not achieve that goal, they might interpret that to themselves that they're just stuffed up again and they really are no good.
So they're encouraging goal setters to have a realistic plan, especially with Australia Day celebrations around the corner.
What strategies people use is that they might drink zero alcohol and still be able to drink with their friends and family. They might also learn some refusal skills.
The key, a supportive network and positive reinforcement. Caitlin Stedman, 7 News.
Broken Ballerina has teed up its first charity golf day to help raise funds to support victims of domestic violence. Mackay Golf Club is set to swing into action as host of the tournament on August 2. It's hoped the event can raise funds for a dedicated office for the not-for-profit. Sponsorship opportunities are now available, ranging from $350 to $2,500. A canny Mackay teacher is sharing her love of maths these holidays with free workshops to prepare students for the new school year. The educator turned inventor has created a one-of-a-kind sensory fidget toy to help make learning timetables fun.
Classes in session at Canelands.
This was the puppet that everyone got.
And these students don't seem to mind at all that school has come a week early.
We got to learn our 3 times tables and it was really fun, and you can even go up to the 12 times tables.
Teacher Nicole Batzloff, Mrs. B, created the Sensory 100s chart 3 years ago to simplify learning.
This is pretty revolutionary when it comes to maths resources.
The colourful poppet-style toy helps students build mathematical connections. The product is now used by classrooms across the nation.
The foundation of maths is number and number sense.
The Wonderful World of Maths workshops will be held 4 times a day until Friday at Canelands. The lessons will suit all ages, from 4-year-olds learning to count to 12-year-olds trying to understand times tables.
You got a booklet with all the timetables with the puppet that makes the timetables easier.
Really enjoyed it. I think it'll be very beneficial for the kids.
And it's only a little extra homework to complete before the school year starts.
Learn my times tables over the rest of the holidays. You've got to keep practicing.
Georgie May Walker, 7 News.
All right, time now to have a look at all the day's sport and the weekend sport.
Yeah.
Nate, and one of our cutters is back home.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. Mackay's Josh Smith spent part of his pre-season with the North Queensland Cowboys and loved the experience. We'll catch up with him next. And the Mackay Meteorettes to return from the Under-18 State Championships without the gold.
Stream 7 News anywhere, anytime, live and on demand on 7plus. And with 7news.com.au, you'll know the news now.
And welcome back. Well, Mackay cutter Josh Smith is back in town training with the team after spending part of his pre-season with the North Queensland Cowboys. The centre cites being able to trust yourself and being calm under pressure as 2 of the biggest lessons he learnt while in Townsville.
Back in town training with the cutters, and for centre, Josh Smith, has one particular area of training front of mind.
And I think a lot of combos are starting to happen, especially on defence at the moment, because defence is really built on trust. So a big thing that I think we've been taking into each session is building the combinations with the people around him.
Smith spent the first half of the pre-season training in Townsville with the Cowboys and believes he can take the lessons learned back to Mackay.
I think it was just a lot more just being calm and trusting yourself. If you can take confidence and being calm into a game, then you should be able to, like I said, come out on top with the result.
He also noted how the squad was excited for the club's pre-season fixture against the Capras, in addition to the Broncos-Cowboys clash.
I think it's just bringing local footy back to Mackay. I know I'm a Mackay junior and come up through the grades here, so it's pretty good when footy gets to play at BB Prince Stadium.
While hoping to one day earn an NRL contract down the line, the main season objective was crystal clear.
Nothing probably beats the team goal of playing finals footy for Mackay Cutters and getting a home final there. So that's something that definitely I hold close to my heart.
The Cutters will play host to the Capras on February 18 at BB Prince Stadium in a trial. Connor Marcellus, 7 News.
Switching to AFL, and Mackay City have a new coach on board for this year's Allied Cup, with the club gunning for a return to the finals. It follows what was a difficult 2023 campaign, which saw the club lose 13 of their 14 matches.
The Hawks have resumed pre-season training, buoyed by the acquisition of a new head coach from Victoria.
And the blokes have bought in pretty well. We've had a couple that have moved on from losing their jobs and stuff like that, but all in all, we've kept the main core group together. We have to remember 2 years ago, these guys were actually in the grand finals.
Wayne Devine is now tasked with lifting the Hawks out of the AFL Mackay cellar following a 2023 season, which saw the club finish with just 1 win and 1 draw.
I learned a lot of structures. I got to see a lot of other good coaches around the place and spend time with them at bigger clubs that were in finals at the time.
I think we found that it's not just going to happen. We're going to have to put the hard work in and really stick together when times do get tough and keep playing as a group together.
With plenty of motivation to work with during the pre-season, the only way to go in 2024 is up for Mackay City and away from the wooden spoon.
Just to focus on my fitness a bit more so I can run out the games a lot more. And on a team perspective, to string a few games together and make finals this year will be a good goal.
I want to see someone from this club rise up, some of the guys that are here have ambitions to go on and coach later. So I like to be able to think that I can bring them along, teach them the skill set to take over the club.
Connor Marcellus, 7 News.
And the Mackay Meteorettes' quest for an under-18 state basketball championship came unstuck in the finals. The team went through the pool stages unbeaten, but their 5-game winning streak would end against the Cairns Dolphins. Cairns would advance to the final, where they went down to the Logan Thunder, who claimed back-to-back state championships, while the Meteors ended their state title campaign without a win. I'm sure it was still a great experience for both teams though, Joe, and that's it for sport. Thanks very much.
Great. Thanks for that, Nate. Well, stay with us after the break. Rosanna joins us and she'll have all the details on the weather for us.
Hello, Rosanna Natoli with tonight's weather. It's not looking like the most ideal end to the school holidays as wet weather continues. So maybe consider grabbing gumboots and a raincoat on the back to school shop. Showers will also be ongoing as they make their way in and out over the next 7 days. To the rainfall, and Kumala received 63 millimetres, Carmilla 47, 15 in Gargett. Temperatures today across the Central Coast and Highlands, 25 to 32 degrees in Mackay, Bowen a top of 31, 29 on Hamilton Island. To the satellite loop now, and of course the monsoon trough will continue for several days. We can see all of this activity out here. It is currently creating some isolated high rainfalls in Queensland's North Tropical Coast. Regions around Darwin have received more than 300 millimetres rainfall. On today's chart, evidently that monsoon trough sits north of the nation. You can see it up here, spanning out those clouds, and a ridge of high pressure extends over central and southern Queensland. It is maintained by a high moving east across the Southern Ocean. Now, on tomorrow's chart, that high will have actually reached out into the Tasman Sea by about morning and then continues drifting easterly. A weak tropical low that develops today on the monsoon trough in the Western Coral Sea will also continue moving east. So now to the latest from the Bureau. The boating forecast for Mackay waters, east to southeasterly winds around 15 to 20 knots, turning easterly for Wednesday with seas up to 1.5 metres. Tidal variations are on the decrease. Expect a low near 8:30 a.m, a high at 2:30 p.m. For the Central Coast and Whitsundays, partly cloudy, a high chance of showers, most likely in the late morning and afternoon. The chance of a thunderstorm. Mackay's top 31 degrees, Bowen heading for 32, Hamilton Island 30. The Central Highlands and coalfields partly cloudy with a medium chance of showers and the chance of a thunderstorm. Emerald heading for 35, the same for Claremont, 34 for Moranbah. Looking ahead for Mackay, damp days await us as the showers carry on right up until the weekend, and temperatures are staying fairly consistent too as they remain in that low 30s mark. And that is a wrap on Monday night's weather. Now to tonight's sunset all the way from Dead Horse Gap from Paul. Looking pretty special. Thank you for sending that one in. I do love to share them all with you. Now I'll see you again tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
Lovely, thanks for that, Rosanna. Well, that's all from us for this Monday. Thanks very much for your company. Just a reminder, you can watch a replay of our news if you missed anything on the 7plus app, or catch up on our page, 7news.com.au. And from all of us here, enjoy your evening. Good night.